Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of us is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Luminar Technologies, ticker symbol LAZR. And here I am recording this during market hours on Wednesday, March 6th. And on the day, Luminar has hit a new all-time low at $2.06, currently being just above that at right around $2.08 a share. And so, yeah, the last time I put out a video was on February 5th. So, on this trading day, or following this trading day, I should say. And yeah, I just wanted to do an update on it. But before I go into the details on the daily candles over here, I did just want to point out some levels that I have highlighted in the past that may be of importance moving forward. And so one is this yellow line here marked at $3 a share. That will come up as it did over the past month. But it is kind of in the distance right now, being right around $2 a share. But yeah, that is a significant level, and that is really based on just the psychological level of $3 a share, not based on a touch point over here. But when we got near $3 right around the end of October, I do think that ended up serving as support before he broke down and then has most recently acted as resistance. Then the next level down, this orange one, is at a price of $2.71. That was the wick low on November 14th. And it does coincide with a Fibonacci level, so I do think that is interesting. Then the next level down is this red line at $2.50. Again, just being like a psychological level similar to $3 a share, but coinciding with some consolidation over here and also having acted as recent resistance before the series of red candles that we have seen over the past week and a half or so. And then below that, I do have this purple downtrend that may be acting as key support in the near future. It is based on the low of November 28th and the low of December 11th. So those two pivot points create this downtrend, and it does look like it had served as support around the middle of January before getting this run up to test $3 a share. But yeah, so from that, I'm just going to zoom in on the chart so we can look at some of the levels. And so following that run up from the low that was hit on January 19th at a price of $2.09, that was the previous all-time low. And then following that, we did get a pretty big move up, about 50%, up to $3 and let's see, 4.5 cents per share. But then that did mark the top before we came down. And so the last video that I did put out was a clip from a live stream, I believe. And so I released that on February 5th, following the trading day of Friday, February 2nd, when we had this little green doji here. And during that video, I had suggested that it was possible we could see a collapse, but it did look like we were forming a bull flag. And I did think that the following week we would be testing $3 a share. And it turns out that, everything that I had suggested kind of played out not as I would have hoped for or expected, but we did collapse. But then we did test $3 a share, but then quickly after that did break down, and now we're trading at the current price. And so I did a Fibonacci retracement from that highlights a couple levels, really just actually one level, the 786. I do think that is one that we will want to be paying attention to, that may be acting as resistance since we are below it with the current price. And so that 786 is at a price of $2.29.4, so a level to keep in mind. But following that run up, what are some key signals that we saw that we were getting rejected right around $3 a share? And so first, the day after I put out that video, or really the day that that video came out on February 5th, we did get this big red candle going down a little over 9.5% on the day, but then we did get a rebound on the 6th. We went up over 15.5% and closed at a price exactly at $3 a share. And so we couldn't really claim that level as being support, being above that level. And the next day we did close below. We could not put in a higher close than that day's high, which was at a price of $3.02. We actually opened on the 7th at a price of $3.02, so at that high, but then closed below. So that suggested that we were getting rejected from $3. The following day, on the 8th, we did make another attempt at $3, hitting a high at 301, but that was really the clear signal that we were not going to be going higher than 3. We kept getting these wicks following that, and then got this big breakdown on February 13th, going down almost 12% on the day. And then we have really just been kind of stair-stepping our way down. And on the note of stair-stepping our way down, it is quite possible, and it does seem like we formed a bear flag, with this being the pull on the way down, this sideways consolidation, and now breaking lower. So it doesn't look too good for the stock. It might be going lower, but I do think today's close will be telling regarding the direction of the stock, if we're at a bottom or if we could be going lower. And so from this down move coming down to the low of February 23rd, I did another Fibonacci retracement. A number of those levels coincide with levels I had previously identified, so I think that's pretty interesting. One of them being the 618, which is at a price of $2.70.5, corresponds pretty perfectly with that level that I have, the orange level at $2.71. I find that pretty interesting. Then the next level is the 382, and that corresponds to a price of $2.49.5, right around the psychological level of $2.50. So pretty neat there as well. And it does look like that did act as resistance just recently. On February 27th, we did get a wick above that level and closing right around that price at $2.50, and then we did get a wick above that a couple days later on February 29th, but could not close above, suggesting the rejection. And then we have since seen, 4 red candles, and assuming today will close red as well, 5 red candles in a row, so not looking too good there. But I do think it is important to be paying attention to this level here, the 236 at a price of $2.36.5. That may be acting as resistance, as it does look like it acted as resistance yesterday on the 6th, when we did get a wick up to that level, but ultimately a rejection. And that is just below this blue line here. That was a gap formed on the way up. That is at a price of $2.41. However, that gap has since been filled, so don't really need to pay attention to it anymore. And then now looking at this little run up here from the low on February 23rd up to the high on the 27th, that range does look like, it could provide some insight, at least as far as where the downside might be. And so if I do adjust the y-axis, we can see that the 1618 extension from that retracement is right around a price of $1.91.1. And so that is a level we might be revisiting, and it does look like it corresponds with that purple downtrend that I had shown before. So good to keep that in mind. But I do think that, the previous low, the previous all-time low that we had was $2.09. Current price right now, if we close below $2.09, I think that suggests that this is a breakdown and price will be going lower, likely to $1.90 right around there. But if we can get a close above 209, this could be a fake out. So look for closes above 209 over the course of the rest of this week. That could suggest that this breakdown is a fake breakdown. But if we do get a close below 209, that would suggest to me that it's likely to continue. If we get 2 closes below 209, that suggests to me confirmation that it is definitely going lower. Although I could be wrong about that, but it is good to then brace for the downside, like preparing for sub $2, like 191. And then also, I didn't mention this before, but there is that white downtrend. So I just want to point out where that originates from, going back pretty far in time. That originates back from the lows here at the end of June 2022. It does look like there was a pivot here before a little bit of a breakdown, and that has more or less served as support with minor breakdowns below it. So I don't really think that the level that we're at right now, we really have that significant of support, because we have broken below it before. So if we do close below 209 and get 2 closes below it, I feel like it's almost a certainty that price is going to right around $1.91. So do prepare for that, but do keep in mind that could be a great dip buying opportunity, as we could be making our way back up to, $2.50, $3. And I almost forgot to mention it in the last video. I did mention 308, that I'd put an alert there, and it's unfortunate that the high here was $3.04.5, so we couldn't make it to that level that did stand out to me previously as a key level. And so we did get rejected just above $3, as I had mentioned. But I do think there is hope that we could be getting back to $2.50 in the next few months, potentially $3, and potentially getting to this 1618 extension up here at a price of $3.59.5. So I do think it is good to keep in mind that there is a lot of upside, especially because if we do look at this article here on, let's see, insiders placing bullish bets on Luminar. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the stream, but it does note in here that the founder of Luminar, Austin Russell, made the biggest insider purchase over the past 12 months, and that was a total transaction of 8.9 million worth of shares at a price of $6.26 each. So I do think that should be a vote of confidence that the insiders, that the CEO thinks that the price of Luminar is well undervalued and could be going up 3x from here, getting to over $6 a share. So do keep that in mind, as we do likely dip below $2 a share. Unless we get a fake out signal, closes above 209, then we could be heading to $6 a share before sub 2. So do keep that in mind. And, but those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and coverage of Luminar. Thanks a lot for watching.